Xbox is providing us with such a fantastic sale this week, and there are some huge titles down to the lowest prices that we've ever seen. I have to bring out a big warning, as those backlogs are certainly going to get larger after today's video. Before we dive in, we are giving a game away every single week to one lucky subscriber who comments below, so make sure you let us know what games you're picking up or what you're currently playing on Xbox this week. A big shout out to last week's winner, so just send me a message on Twitter, email or Discord, and I can get that right over to you. With that out the way, my name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive into this incredible new sale this week. First on our list is the Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition at now 33% off and being just £43.54, and this is the lowest price we've seen yet. Now, I know Cyberpunk 2077 had a very rough start, but trust me, CD Projekt Red have done an incredible job turning things around with more updates, patches, and an all-new Phantom Liberty expansion. This game is an absolute beast of an RPG. Imagine exploring the neon-soaked streets of Night City, hacking into systems, and customizing your character with some truly insane cybernetic enhancements. Whether you're just sneaking through missions or wanting to go in guns blazing, there's a playstyle for everyone. If you love choice-driven storytelling and a world where every decision matters, this one's definitely for you. Next up, we have Robocop Rogue City at 50% off and down to $24.99. I've been a huge fan of Robocop since I was a kid, and this game just nails that classic 80s action vibe. You get to step into the shoes of Alex Murphy, aka Robocop, and clean up the streets of old Detroit. The game features the original actor, Peter Weller, returning to voice Robocop in this game, which just adds to that authentic touch. The gunplay is dynamic and the environments are destructible, making you feel like a totally unstoppable force. Plus, you can also pick up and throw criminals through windows, and to be honest, who doesn't want to do that? For everyone who loves a mix of retro nostalgia with modern graphics, then this game is just a no-brainer. Now, let's talk about Red Dead Redemption 2 Ultimate Edition, which is a staggering 70% off. This game, where do I even begin? If you haven't already experienced Rockstar's masterpiece, then now's your chance. You will play as Arthur Morgan, an outlaw with a heart of gold, depending on how you choose to play. The world is a living, breathing entity with dynamic weather, wildlife, and random encounters that make every moment just feel alive. The Ultimate Edition also gets you extra story mode content, more weapons, and full access to Red Dead Online. Trust me guys, this is one of those games that you just have to experience. It's really like living out your own western epic, complete with shootouts, horseback chases, and meaningful choices that affect the story. Continuing with Rockstar, we have Max Payne 3, and it's 65% off at just £6.30. Max Payne is an absolute classic, and if you've never tried it, now's the time. This game is all about style, from its noir-inspired storytelling to its slow-motion bullet-time gunfights, and it honestly makes you feel like a total badass. You'll be following Max Payne through his darkest days as he takes on ruthless gangs in Sao Paulo. It's got a really gripping narrative filled with so many twists and turns, and the action is just a chef's kiss. If you're a fan of story-driven shooters with some excellent gameplay mechanics, then you definitely don't want to miss this one. For all of my RPG lovers out there, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition is now down a whopping 75% off. You guys know this one, and it needs absolutely no introduction, as this game blew up everywhere when it was released over 7 years ago. You play as Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter with a gravelly voice and a love for a good brawl. The game offers an open world that's just packed with so many incredible stories, from the main quest lines to the smallest of side missions. And the Complete Edition includes both expansions, the Heart of Stone and Bloodwine DLCs, which are basically like full games on their own. This is easily one of the best RPGs of all time, and at this price, it's an absolute steal. Let's switch gears to Banishers Ghost of New Eden, which is now 33% off at $33.49, and it's now the lowest price it's ever been. Now, this one might not have been on everyone's radar towards the beginning of this year, but it's certainly worth a look. You will play as two ghost hunters, Antea and Red, who have a very personal mission. They're in love, but one of them is a ghost. The game mixes supernatural investigation with action-packed combat, and the choices you make impact both the living and the dead. It's got a very unique twist on the action-adventure formula, and the story will tug at your heartstrings. If you're into emotional storytelling with a supernatural spin, in, this is an absolute hidden gem. Next, we've got Metro Exodus Gold Edition at 85% off. This is now actually down to under £6, and for that price, it's absolutely a massive steal. This is a ridiculous deal for one of the best survival shooters out there. It's set in post-apocalyptic Russia, and you play as Artyom, a survivor who leaves the safety of the Moscow metro system to find a new life in the outside world. The Gold Edition includes all the DLC, so you get the full experience. The game actually combines a strong narrative with open world exploration, stealth, and tense combat. Trust me, it's a visually stunning journey from dark irradiated tunnels to snowy wilderness and lush forests. If you like a mix of horror games and survival games with some deep storytelling, then you definitely need to grab this one. Saints Row the 3rd Remastered is also up for grabs at 80% off and now just under £5. This game is just pure unfiltered fun. It's got over-the-top action, ridiculous humour, and a story that never takes itself too seriously. This is actually the Saints Row that we know and love, and not the god-awful remake that only came out a couple of years ago. You're essentially the leader of the Saints in this game, and your job is to take over Steelport by any means necessary, which means fighting off zombies, driving tanks through the city, or launching yourself out of a plane while blasting I Need a Hero. This remastered version looks fantastic, and it does include all of the DLC. If you need a break from more serious games and just want to have some chaotic fun, then this is the one. For superhero fans, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is now on sale for 70% off. And to be honest, I know it had an absolutely god-awful launch and the game isn't exactly perfect, but at this price, it's well worth picking up and just trying out. This game lets you take control of Harley Quinn, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang as they go against a Justice League that's been corrupted by Brainiac. Each character has unique skills and playstyles, from Harley's acrobatics to King Shark's, well, biting things. It's got a great mix of humor, action, and cooperative gameplay, so you can team up with friends for some chaotic fun. If you like superhero games with a twist and want to fly around shooting loads of guns and killing enemies, then this one's just a wild ride and well worth diving into. If survival games are more your thing, then you can check out Stranded Deep, and it's now just £5, and that's a further 70% off discounts. You're a plane crash survivor stuck in the Pacific Ocean, and it's up to you to find food, build shelter, and survive. Every time I actually play this game, I feel like I'm staring into my own episode of Survivor. The islands are randomly generated, so no two games are ever the same, and there really is a huge sense of accomplishment when you finally craft that first raft or fend off a shark attack for the very first time. It's a great pick for anyone who loves a good challenge and a bit of unpredictability in their games. Now we have Thymesia at 50% off at just £13, and if you're a fan of games like Dark Souls or Sekiro, this will really bring that intense challenge that you crave. You will play as Corvus, a mysterious warrior navigating a dark plague-ridden world, battling twisted enemies with a combat system that's fast and brutal. What sets this game apart from other Souls-like games is its unique plague weapon mechanic. You can rip the very powers from your enemies and use them in battle, creating some truly unique strategies. It's perfect for those looking for a fresh spin on that hardcore action RPG formula, and I know this is a great indie title that many overlooked on its first release. Next, we've got Valiant Hearts: The Great War at a staggering 75% off. This game is an emotional puzzle adventure set during World War I. You will follow 4 interconnected characters, each with their own unique perspective on the war, and a narrative that's both heartbreaking and inspiring. The hand-drawn art style is just absolutely beautiful, and the gameplay is a mix of exploration, puzzles, and stealth. It's a game that really reminds you that not all heroes are soldiers, and that stories of love and loss can be found even in the darkest of times. At this price, it's a must-have for anyone who loves games with a heart, and at £2.99, it's just an absolute steal. Then we have Chorus, at currently 70% off for £6.74. This one is a space combat game with an entirely new twist, as you're in control of a sentient starfighter called Forsaken, and together, you and your spaceship will navigate a galaxy full of danger and intrigue. The combat is incredibly dynamic, with dynamics that let you drift in space to pull off some spectacular maneuvers. The graphical fidelity in this game is fantastic, and you can see why it was a launch game on the Xbox Series generation. Plus, the story adds layers of mystery and emotional depth as your character Nara confronts a dark cult and her own troubled past. If you're looking for something that mixes high-speed action with a very meaningful narrative, then Chorus should be high on your list. Next on the list is Alien's Fireteam Elite, and it's slashed down to a fantastic price, and for this third-person co-op shooter, it's well worth playing. It drops you and up to 2 friends into the Aliens universe, battling hordes of xenomorphs across varied environments. The game features 5 different character classes, each with their own unique skills and gear, which really adds a strategic layer to the action. It really is perfect for fans of cooperative shooters who love a very good challenge, and with plenty of content updates and modes, it's got excellent replay value. Ever wanted to feel like Ripley or a colonial marine with a flamethrower? Then this can be your game at just £7.50. And finally, Ys Origin is a fantastic RPG, and it's down to just under £5 at over 70% off. This action RPG is a classic in every sense, from fast-paced combat, rich lore, and memorable characters. As a prequel to the long-running Ys series, it's accessible for newcomers and still offers plenty for long-time fans. You actually get to choose between different characters in this title, each with their own unique skills and storylines, which gives this game a lot of replay value. It's got the old school charm with some modern polish, and is perfect for anyone who loves a good dungeon crawler with a compelling narrative. What game are you picking up in this sale? Let me know down below, and also remember to hit that like button if you want to see more sales videos like these. Remember to subscribe below and leave a comment for our weekly giveaway, and whilst here, why don't you check out our most recent video as we're covering the 30 best day one games coming to Xbox Game Pass in 2025. There are some fantastic titles on this list, from Avowed to the upcoming Gears of War E-Day, and I know many of us can't wait for these Xbox Game Pass releases.